Hey everyone, welcome to my channel if you're new, welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. My name is Jonathan, I make luxury videos, unboxings, and reviews, and today's video is going to be my luxury shoe collection, so let's get into it. So the first pair of shoes that I'm going to be sharing with you today are my COMME. They are in the white colorway and I absolutely love these shoes. They were actually my very first pair of designer shoes, if you can consider them designer. They are with the collab with CONVERSE. So they actually are a CONVERSE sneaker, but then the Comme des Garçons designer actually put their twist on it. So it does feature the red heart, which I thought was super cute. And the reason why it went with the white pair is because I feel like any person needs a pair of white shoes in their repertoire, so that way they're able to dress up or dress down their outfit, and white shoes just go with just about anything, and they were a really reasonably priced point in my opinion. So these shoes did retail for 200 Canadian dollars, and I did pick these up at Nordstrom. And I thought that it was really affordable to be your first pair of designer shoes, just so that way you can get into the market and see how designer shoes actually work in your lifestyle. So I definitely do recommend. The only issue that I do have with these shoes is because they are white canvas material, they do get fairly dirty really quickly. So if you are not really careful with your shoes and you just kind of go about and do whatever with them, you will notice that they have darkened a lot over time. I tried to clean them, but because it's like a cloth canvas material, it's very hard to keep clean and to clean afterwards. So that's probably the only con that I do have, as well as they are a Converse style. So if your feet do hurt after long periods of time from walking on Converse, then they're going to have the same effect with these ones, just because they're the same style. So that's why I kind of stopped wearing them, just because I have developed like some flat foot and they do hurt my feet if I do walk in long periods of time with them. But I just keep them in my collection just because sometimes when I want to go short distances or when I want to have that little pop of red, then I will wear these shoes. But I highly recommend them if you wanted to get your foot into the luxury shoe market. They are really versatile and you can definitely dress them up or dress them down. So I highly recommend. So the next pair of shoes that I'm going to be showing you are actually two pairs of shoes, and I did not plan to purchase these at all. I was actually on my lunch break at work at the time, and I walked to the Saks Fifth Avenue located at the Eaton Centre in Toronto, Canada. And I had noticed that the Saks Fifth Avenue was having like a shoe sale, and the shoes were up to like 50% off, and both these pairs were actually 50% off. So I actually got them for the price of one. So these shoes actually did originally retail for 800 Canadian dollars each, but I actually was able to pick them up for 400 Canadian dollars each. And the shoes that I'm talking about are my Gucci moccasins as well as my Prada moccasins. I absolutely love these pairs of shoes. I actually do keep these at the office for majority of the time, just because when I walk to work from taking the public transit, I do wear a pair of sneakers. So when I get to the office, I like to change into these, so that way they don't get as worn. However, you can tell by the Gucci ones, they are actually a little bit more worn compared to the Pradas, just because I feel like the Gucci ones are a little bit more versatile in terms of how I can wear them with my outfit. And the Prada ones I feel like are a little bit more dressier compared to the Guccis. And you can also tell that the Guccis are in like a gray leather material, and the Pradas are in like a blue suede, which is really soft and feels really luxurious. I absolutely love how it feels, and I absolutely love these shoes. So I did not expect to pick these up at the same time, but because they were like buy one get one free pretty much, I just had to pick them up, and I absolutely love these shoes. People will say that they're a little bit uncomfortable, but for me, I don't find them uncomfortable at all. The only issue that I do have with the Gucci shoes, just because they are a leather material, the leather has stretched out a bit since I've been wearing them, so they do feel a little bit loose compared to the Pradas, which are really tight, and they're not as stretchy compared to the Guccis. So that's probably one of the cons that I do have, as well as for the Gucci moccasins, just because I wear them so much, the material has started to like peel off and scratch off. So you can definitely see signs of wear on the Gucci ones compared to the Prada ones, and I actually still do keep my shoes stuffed just because I don't have enough shoe trees to keep their shape. So I always just keep a little bit of the tissue inside just so that way they don't lose their shape over time. But I absolutely love these shoes, and I highly recommend checking out the Saks Fifth Avenue shoe sale. They usually have it like twice a year, and the shoes are really great price points. If you're not really willing to spend full retail price on shoes, which is totally understandable because you are wearing them and they are going to show signs of wear. So definitely you can save yourself a lot of money by waiting for the shoe sale to come about, and you'll be able to get these for a great steal. So I highly recommend checking Saks Fifth Avenue out whenever you get a chance. So the next pair of shoes that I'm going to show you are not really kind of shoes, they're more like slides or slippers, and they are my Ferragamo slides in the gold and black colorway, and I impulse bought these like there's no tomorrow. So I was going on holiday the following week and I desperately needed a pair of slippers to walk around the resort with. So I ended up seeing these and I ended up picking them up. The reason why I went with this one is because I thought that the black and gold was a really nice touch. And I haven't really seen anybody wear any Ferragamo slides. A lot of people go out and buy the Gucci ones, and I see everybody wearing them, and I like to be a little bit different. So I ended up picking these Ferragamo ones, as well as they were on sale. So these originally retailed for 250 Canadian dollars, but I actually ended up picking these up for 140 Canadian dollars. So they were about $110 off, and I feel like a lot of the designer slides are in and around that price point, except for Louis Vuitton. Those are a little bit more expensive, around like $700 or $800 for a pair of slippers, which in my opinion seems a little bit excessive and not really worth the price point. But for other designers, they usually sit around 200 to 250 Canadian dollars. So these are pretty affordable in my opinion for slippers, or designer slippers anyway, but I would definitely not recommend these at all. I only wore these for about 5 days straight at the resort that I was staying at, and day one, it instantly started to chip. The gold here started to chip and show signs of wear immediately, which I thought was pretty disappointing for the amount of money that you pay for these kind of slippers, especially because they're $250. You would think that they would last a little bit longer, as well as these are very, very uncomfortable to wear. I actually had to stop wearing them after about day 5 just because it was so unbearable to wear these throughout the resort. This part of the slipper was actually gouging into my toes and creating a lot of blisters and cuts. So it was really uncomfortable to walk around, and I ended up just wearing sneakers for the remainder of my trip. So, I mean, if you can definitely get these on sale for a reasonably good price point, or maybe get a size up, depending on what shoe size you wear, I definitely wouldn't recommend these, but to each their own. I know a lot of people are into the whole designer slide trend and they're wearing them on a daily basis, but for me, I only really wear slippers when I go on holiday, so it's not really worth the wear per use for me, in my opinion. So I don't really recommend any designer slippers, but to each their own. So yeah, these are my Ferragamo slides. So the next pair of shoes that I'm going to be showing you are probably one of my favorite pairs of shoes, but definitely not my favorite pair. I actually use these shoes on a daily basis. They are considered like my beater shoes, and I feel like they go with just about everything, and they are my Gucci Ace sneakers. So I got these in the in the red and blue colorway. And I absolutely love these shoes. So these retail for about 720 Canadian dollars, which I know is pretty expensive for a pair of shoes, but these are an all leather shoe, and I actually find them really comfortable. A lot of people say that they're not the most comfortable pair of shoes to wear, but for me, I haven't had an issue, and I can walk around in these for hours on end. The reason why I went with the regular one instead of the embroidered one is because the embroidered one just seems a little bit too flashy and out there, just because the backing is kind of like glittery and sparkly, as well as I wanted to go with the traditional pair just because you can't beat the classics, and these look absolutely amazing. The only issue that I do have is because they are a leather shoe, you can see cracking on the leather, but that's because I wear these like excessively. Every single day, these are like my go-to shoes. They just complement all my outfits, and I just absolutely love them. I am looking to pick up another pair of the Gucci Aces, but in the green and the red colorway, just because I wanted to have the original colorway. When I bought these at the time, they only had these This one with the navy and the blue, navy and the red, which is completely fine. But I definitely want to pick up the originals. I'm definitely not looking to add any other pair of shoes for the time being because these are pretty expensive for what they are, but I definitely do get the wear per use out of them. And you'll see a lot of Instagram people or Instagram models wearing these shoes, as well as every time I walk around Yorkdale Mall, everybody is wearing Gucci Aces. So it's kind of like an up or down situation. I definitely did want to get these, but not because of the hype, just because I thought these would go with just about anything. So I absolutely love these shoes, and I highly recommend picking these up if you can. So the next pair of shoes that I'm going to be sharing with you are actually a pair of high tops, and the last, actually 3 pairs of shoes that I'm going to be showing you are actually all high tops, just because I'm loving the high tops right now, and I'm just like completely obsessed with them. So there's a story behind these ones. So I actually did go to the Toronto Premium Outlets with my cousin and his girlfriend, and they actually opened up a lot of designer outlet stores there. So I was like completely shook. They opened up like a Burberry, they opened up a Ferragamo, Prada, as well as a bunch of other ones. There's even a Gucci boutique there. And so when we went shopping, I went into the Prada boutique and I saw these shoes and I just instantly died. I seen these shoes at the regular boutique and they retailed for about $1,000 Canadian, but these ones were at the Prada outlet for only 400 Canadian dollars. So I had to grab them just because of the savings and just because the outfit that I was wearing at the time, it was like I was wearing all black and red, so I thought that it complemented my outfit completely. So these are my Prada high tops, like I said, in the black and the red colorway. And what also instantly drew me to these shoes are how unique they look. If you look closely at the material and the patterning, it's kind of like a comic book-ish feel to it. That's just my opinion. As well as the material I find is really unique and it's really easy to maintain. So if you actually do get anything on this kind of like canvas nylon material, you're actually able to like wipe it off at ease, and it'll still look brand spanking new. I've actually only worn these shoes like once or twice. As you can see, the bottom is completely clean and really not used at all. I just find these really hard to style. I typically don't wear a lot of red and black anymore. I don't know why, but I thought that I would love these shoes. The only reason why I keep them in my collection still is just in case I have a change of heart and I want to start wearing more reds or more darker tones, then I definitely will start using these. As you can tell, I do keep these stuffed just because of the high top material. I don't want them to like sag or like topple over. So definitely keep my shoes stuffed whenever I can. But I absolutely love these shoes at the time. I just don't get the wear per use out of them. And I feel like I just bought them just because I went to the outlet stores and they opened up all these designer stores. So I just didn't want to leave empty-handed. And I kind of just let the hype get the better of me. So in hindsight, if I were to talk to myself back in the day, I would have been like, Jonathan, relax. You don't need these shoes. You're not going to wear them, but here they are. And I just can't find the heart to sell these just because it's so hard, in my opinion, to sell shoes just because you gotta find the right person who has the right size. So it might take a little bit longer than if you had like a wallet or if you had like a scarf that you wanted to sell. So I'm definitely keeping these for a rainy day or whenever I decide that I'm gonna be starting to wear more reds. But yeah, these are my Prada high tops. I highly recommend checking out the Toronto Premium Outlets. If you're here in Toronto, definitely check it out. They do have a lot of great stuff and a lot of great boutique items there. So definitely go check them out whenever you get a chance. So the next pair of shoes that I'm going to be showing you are actually my second last pair of shoes. I'm almost done, don't worry. They are my Burberry high tops and I absolutely love these shoes. There's quite a bit of a sad story and it goes with the saying, good things come to those who wait, which my mom tells me all the time. I obviously didn't listen to her at the time for this just because the minute I saw these, I had to purchase them. So I did purchase these for about 500 Canadian dollars and then I started to wear them immediately, just because I have been going through a little bit of a Burberry phase, so I do like to purchase a lot of Burberry items or ready-to-wears. So I thought that this would go really well with my Burberry shirts or my belts or even my wallet. So I feel as though this would have completed my outfit. So I just picked these up instantly the minute I saw them. And then a week later, when I went to Saks Fifth Avenue just to browse, my heart died a little bit just because these shoes were actually on sale for about 30% off. And I could have saved myself a couple $100 that I could have put towards another pair of shoes or something else in general. But because of my impatientness, I bought these at full retail. So definitely check Saks Fifth Avenue whenever you can, or any of the larger department stores. They do a lot of shoe sales, so you can find a lot of great shoes for great prices. So definitely got to check it out. The one silver lining to the story is by the time I actually noticed the shoe sale, they actually didn't have my size in these shoes. So if I had waited the week, I wouldn't have necessarily been able to pick these up just because they didn't have my size at Saks Fifth Avenue. So I definitely do recommend, again, checking out Saks Fifth Avenue or Nordstrom or Holt Renfrew whenever you get a chance, just to see if any shoes that you like are on sale, just because you don't necessarily want to always pay full retail for shoes if you can, just because they're shoes, you're going to be wearing them, they're going to get worn, and the resale values on shoes is like nothing. Another great thing about these shoes though is they do have the same material as the Prada ones that I just showed you. So they are like a nylon canvas material. So if you were to get anything on these shoes, you just do a quick wipe down with water and they'll be able to be looking just brand spanking new. I have worn these shoes a lot, as you can tell, but the bottom is obviously going to be expected to be worn. But if you were to look throughout the actual shoe itself, you can't tell that they actually were worn. So yeah, I actually highly recommend these shoes if you're able to find these. They just give you a great pop of the Burberry Haymark check, which I absolutely love. I love how it has the original print, but I also do love the new monogram that they are going with. As you can see, my AirPods is in the new monogram, so it just gives it a little bit more of a modern twist. But I absolutely love the classic, because you can never beat the classic pair of anything. So I highly recommend these shoes. If you're able to find them, definitely grab them. So the next pair of shoes that I'm going to be sharing with you are absolutely my favorite pair of shoes. I absolutely love these shoes to death. And they actually did take me about 1.5 years to save up for, just because of how expensive they are. But I feel as though they complete my shoe collection for now, and they are considered my holy grail pair. So everybody that is a shoe collector has that one pair of shoes that completely like melts their heart, and they just are so satisfied with once they've obtained them. And for me, they are my Christian Louboutins in the black leather material, and these are the Louis flats without the spikes, and I absolutely love these shoes. I did pick these up for Christmas for myself one year, and when I was able to afford them, I was just instantly so satisfied. It took me, like I said, 1.5 years to be able to save up for these shoes, just because they did retail for 1,500 Canadian dollars. And Christian Louboutin, as some of you might know, they never go on sale. The price will only increase, similar to Louis Vuitton. So I definitely wanted to pick these up when I was able to afford them as soon as I can, just because of the price point is really significant in my opinion, and they're just gonna constantly keep increasing. So when I went shopping with my sister for Christmas one year, I actually wanted to stop by the Christian Louboutin boutique just to see if they had them in stock, because I had checked the website the day before and they were completely sold out. For some reason in Canada, Christian Louboutin is really popular around the Christmas season, and there really is like no inventory of sizes coming that time. So I didn't have any hopes that I was going to be able to actually get these for myself for Christmas. So I just thought, let me just stop by the boutique. Maybe they got an order in, maybe they had like their website wasn't updated. So when I went to the Christian Louboutin boutique in Yorkdale, I actually asked them if they had this size in stock, and the guy checked his computer and he's like, oh my god, you're in luck. We just got a pair in this morning. And I was like dying. So he ran to grab them for me. I tried them on and I purchased them just like that. My sister was like in shock. She's like, oh my god, you're buying them? And I'm just like, yes, I've wanted these shoes for so long. I saved up for them. I have the money to afford it. So why not? So I purchased these and I just, it was like the happiest day of my life. I know it's sad that a pair of shoes made me extremely happy, but these shoes are more than just shoes for me. Every time I wear them, they just give me that extra confident boost that I need. Just because sometimes I don't necessarily feel as confident as I should, but every time I wear these shoes, for some reason, like the red sole just gives me that confidence boost that I need, and it just helps me with that. So I absolutely love these shoes, and I highly recommend purchasing them if you're able to. Again, they are fairly expensive and they do not go on sale, but in my opinion, they're definitely worth the investment. I don't actually wear these shoes as often as I should, just because I'm really worried to get them ruined. And as you can tell, the bottom is completely clean. So every time I wear these shoes, I always wipe down the sole, just so that way it keeps its brightness. And for the price point that you pay, you want to make sure that these shoes last. So I definitely do take care of these shoes. The only issues that you can't really avoid is because they are a leather shoe, there are going to be cracking around the toe area, which is to be expected, but everything else looks in immaculate condition. And one thing that I really do love is the inside of these shoes are so soft. They actually are leather lined as well, but like they just feel so soft and buttery. I don't know how to describe it. So I absolutely love Christian Louboutin, and I'm hoping to eventually get another pair of shoes into my collection, ones with the spikes on it, just because that's what Christian Louboutin is known for. But again, it's going to take a lot to save up for those, just because the ones with spikes are obviously a little bit more expensive, and I'm not really looking to add any other pairs of shoes into my collection for now, just because I feel like I have a lot of them that I can rotate between, so I definitely don't necessarily need any new shoes, so I can definitely start saving up for that. But I definitely will probably pick up a pair of Louboutins when there's another special occasion that does arise in my life. But for now, I'm really happy with these ones, and I'm so happy that I was able to purchase these shoes for myself whenever I was able to afford them. So definitely recommend getting a pair of Louboutins. They are, in my opinion, a staple in any shoe collection, just because who doesn't love a red sole? Thank you so much for watching. Question of the day is, what is your favorite shoes in your luxury collection? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.